It could be ISIS. It could be a domestic terrorism. You know, it's in the playbook of a lot of extremist groups to do car rammings, and unfortunately, I think that's why we're having more of them.
I don't like clowns.
Color me so surprised.
Play it.
And the citizens they are supposed to protect.
Local police are calling it an act of terror after a man drove a pickup truck through a crowd on Bourbon Street, killing 10 people and injuring dozens. They say the driver then came out of the truck and opened fire on officers, injuring 2 before being shot and killed. Jimmy Cothran, who witnessed the attack, joins me now to share more about it. Jimmy, first off, I'm so sorry that this is how you're starting off the year. I can't imagine how frightening this must have been. So can you take us through what you saw?
We were heading, me and a friend of mine, he had never been there for New Year's, so why not today? We were heading towards Canal, coming from the other end of Bourbon, when it just looked like ahead of us was something going on. We wasn't sure what, so we ducked off into the nightclub that was right there. Within 2 minutes of entering the building, 4 frantic girls pushed through security, ran in, and hid under tables. So we instantly, living here, and unfortunately with these circumstances, kind of figured it had to be a shooting or something not good. So we ran upstairs, and when we got on the balcony, what we saw was insanity. I mean, something out of a movie. The graphic nature of it, and it was unbelievable. We instantly counted, I'd say, 10 bodies, 6 clearly graphically deceased, and the others yelling with no one around. Everyone had just cleared the street completely. We couldn't understand why no one was helping. I am trained and certified, and they would not let us out. We just stood by and watched for several moments until it looked like what was SWAT or some type of military unit on foot was running down Bourbon with M16s towards where the suspect was going. There 100% were not any steel barricades put up. We had been up and down Bourbon since 8 p.m. and none of the steel barricades were up. That's how this criminal was able to go 70 miles an hour down Bourbon Street and cause this much damage.
Now, the idea that he's got explosive devices, he comes out of the truck with a weapon and gets into a shootout with the police, certainly suggests something here beyond he's just disgruntled. There could be a mental health component. My sense is going to be this has been driven by some ideology of some sort. It could be ISIS. It could be a domestic terrorism. You know, it's in the playbook of a lot of extremist groups to do car rammings, and unfortunately, I think that's why we're having more of them.
Gee, I wonder who's responsible for that.
Paul, let me jump in. Fox News can now identify a high-level source within the New Orleans Police Department says officials have identified the suspect who drove the truck. The suspect identified as Samshud Din Jabbar. Now, Jabbar was carrying a Glock pistol and a .308 rifle that had been reportedly stolen in New Jersey. The .308 rifle was equipped with an optics and/or suppressor. There are at least 4 or 5 other suspects involved. That's a big detail right there, identifying, again, the suspect as a Samshud Din Jabbar, but 4 or more individuals also involved. This is becoming a different story. And Paul, now learning that this individual did not act alone, and the earliest press conference we got with the FBI special agent telling us that improvised explosive devices may have been involved, this coordination would suggest perhaps that there could be an existing threat to the public and that the clock is really ticking right now for them to find out everything they can about this to keep the public safe.
This is how you do it.
Today, back in the Oval Office, I will sign a historic slate of executive orders to close our border to illegal aliens and stop the invasion of our country. And on that same day, we will begin the largest deportation operation in American history.
Democratic leaders in sanctuary jurisdictions have been pushing back against his efforts before he even takes office.
Of course they have.
We're not going to cooperate. We're not going to ask our police force to serve as ICE agents.
I'm going to do everything that I can to protect our undocumented immigrants, the residents of our state.
I will fight you every step of the way.
If it's contrary to our values, we will fight to the death.
Would the Massachusetts State Police assist in mass deportations?
No, absolutely not. We are not cooperating with those efforts that actually threaten the safety of everyone by causing widespread fear.
Not cooperating, they say. Trump's pick for Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller's nonprofit with a warning now to those sanctuary states and city leaders in California and beyond. The organization sent out 249 letters outlining the consequences of interfering with or impeding illegal immigration enforcement. Here's an excerpt from that letter. It says, "Your jurisdiction's sanctuary laws or policies, therefore, make a mockery of American democracy and demonstrate a shocking disrespect for the rule of law. We urge you to do the right thing, protect your citizens, and comply with federal law."
Shame on any elected representative, any congressman, council person, any mayor, any governor who don't want to remove public safety threats from your community, and they're here illegally. That is your #1 responsibility, is protect your communities. So if you're not going to do it, President Trump and ICE will.
They don't want us.
Police officers pretend to be soldiers, and in fact, they're pretending to serve us when they're there actually to kill us. I'm talking about the pretenders. Okay?
Do you want cops to leave the black community?
Oh my gosh! Yes.
You want them to leave?
Yes, black people need to police their own communities like the Nation of Islam did when they were the dope busters. And before Congress intervened to try to stop resources, Representative King was meddling in black business. You got other black organizations that are standing up that's saying, hey, we can resolve our own issues.
Well, why don't y'all?
We don't need our 464-year-old open enemy coming in, murdering and killing us. We can do that. We can resolve our own issues.
Why don't you, if you people are so unhappy with America, and you call yourselves African American, Mommy Africa, right? Why don't you go back to your country?
Well, first of all, because black folk are the owners of the whole planet.
You know why dogs are better than cats? Because a cat will try to bite your hand off if you accidentally touch it in the exact wrong spot. But you could smack a dog in the nose and they're like, do you want to play Frisbee?
What? What do you want? What are you upset about? You know, you have a real gift. A real gift. That every time I sit down, all the time, there you are. There you are. Right there beside me. Making sure I don't forget about you. I know. I know. It's tough. You live a tough life.
It is a messed up world.